think they had to put half of water in here.
Tropical Depression Barry on the move this morning.
The storm didn't cause the flooding we expected, but the threat isn't over yet. I'm tracking the storm right now.
We are getting a few downpours from Barry this morning. What you need to know for the rest of the week. Houston's immigrant community holds their breath, waiting for the mass ICE raids.
President Trump goes on a Twitter tirade. I'll have your reaction to what he said.
Prime Day is here. We connect the dots to find you the best deal. Live from the KHOU 11 studios, HTown Rush starts right now.
It's a beautiful day.
First at 6, I'm not going to sing it like he does, but it's a beautiful day to get outside and enjoy nature. We know a little time in the great outdoors has a lot of benefits, and we'll break down a new one in just a few minutes.
For now, let us know what your favorite outdoor activity is. You can tweet us with the hashtag HTown Rush. Right now, my favorite outdoor activity is running from my air-conditioned house to my air-conditioned car.
Yeah, quick sprint.
Today, I was about to say, it is always a great day, but I don't know if it's a great day to be outdoors.
After today, but then it's just going to get really hot, you've been telling us.
It's either the rain or the heat. There's always something to complain about, isn't there?
Well, as you kick off the Rush Block, why don't you tell us more about that?
I know. Let's talk about all these great conditions. And by that, we've got a couple areas that I want you to take note of here. Okay, if you're waking up near the Shepherd, Cleveland area here, so we're talking San Jacinto County, even northern Liberty County, maybe even portions of eastern Montgomery County this morning, you're actually waking up to a flash flood warning. Now, that flash flood warning only specifically over Shepherd, and that's because they've seen some big time training with these thunderstorms. So that means one develops, it sits over the area, another one develops over the exact same area, and their rainfall totals just since this morning are totaling up to about 4 inches of rain, and they're easily going to pile up on that. Now, otherwise, we're starting off mostly dry, with the exception of Galveston. It will be our coastal counties late morning into our midday, that those are the areas that we really need to watch for. But this morning, Galveston already really getting drenched near Port Bolivar. So not a Galveston type of a day. In fact, throughout the day, we're going to see about a 40% chance for these scattered downpours, all tugging in because of Barry. So Barry's still making some big time impacts across portions of the southeast. And that's why Michelle Choi, she's in the newsroom this morning, and she has the latest on Barry.
Yeah, Chita, so many folks in Louisiana breathing a sigh of relief. The mayor there saying, quote, they're beyond lucky and that they were spared by Barry, a storm many anticipated would produce epic flooding. And while there were rescues that were deployed, including in Terrebonne Parish, this morning Barry is now a tropical depression as it continues to make its way up north. But it did leave behind some damage, guys. Some businesses like this one in Mandeville, Louisiana, got about 1.5 feet of water, but somehow didn't lose power. They spent the day cleaning up and we're back open for business. So was bustling Bourbon Street and the French Quarter, but certain areas did see flood and wind damage. And Louisiana not in the clear just yet. Officials say Barry still poses a threat and that it could bring about flash flooding. Some parts of northern Louisiana and Arkansas could see anywhere between 2 to 4 to 8 inches of rain. Doug?
Oh, wow. Okay, thank you, Michelle. Taking a look around town for your Rush Block traffic. Your roads, pretty good shape. We do have a couple of slowdowns out there, and on the north side, some wet spots. This is Beltway 8 at the Hardy Toll Road. You can see got a nice soaking just now. Some of those radar spots Chita was just showing us, they got some rain. 249 south of Grand Parkway all the way down through Willowbrook Mall. The farther south you go, the drier it gets. And then, of course, we were talking about those coastal showers, but pretty much inside Beltway 8 on the south side, it's nice and dry. That high water spot I was talking about earlier, it's north of the town of Cleveland on Hickman Creek Road near FM 2025. So not widespread high water spots, just a few of them out there. We're keeping a close eye on the northeast side. 290 slowing down to 53 miles per hour as rush hour gets closer. Steph?
Sounds good, Doug. Thank you. The ICE raids the Trump administration promised would happen this weekend failed to carry out. Agents were supposed to round up undocumented migrants in several cities on Sunday, including here in Houston. According to the New York Times, the raids will happen over several days. Roughly 2,000 people are believed to be targeted. The White House says each has been issued a final order of removal from an immigration judge. Democrats voiced criticism about the plan.
There are a lot of families in our country that are mixed or blended families. Where in that household there are documented immigrants, there are undocumented immigrants, there are people who have visas, and they're living in abject fear.
Officials in targeted cities limited immigration agents' access to local police databases and took other measures to protect migrants from federal raids. Your Rush Block continues with the day's other big stories, starting with the drowning of a 6-year-old boy in West Houston. This happened at an apartment complex on Valley Forge Drive. We're told there is high fencing around the pool. Investigators will not say if the 6-year-old got in on their own or if they were being supervised. Today, the teenager accused of sexually assaulting women while leaving a gym goes back to court. 18-year-old Carlos Eduardo Guevara is charged with felony aggravated sexual assault and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. He's being held on immigration hold. Democratic presidential hopeful Beto O'Rourke says he's a descendant of slave owners. He was recently given documents showing ancestors left 2 women to others in their will. O'Rourke has been a supporter of reparations. American Airlines joined United to extend Boeing's 737 MAX cancellations until November. The company says around 115 flights will be canceled per day. The plane has been grounded for months following 2 deadly crashes. Boeing is working to fix the software it believes caused both accidents.
Yuli with a deep drive. Looking up and gone. Yuli Gurriel, a 2-run home run.
A great day for the Stros as they take down the Rangers 12-4 and split the series. Up next, a trip to LA to take on the Angels. First pitch at 9:07. That's your Rush Block. Today's big headlines from right here in Houston and around the world. Let us know what's happening in your neighborhood. Tweet us with the hashtag HTown Rush.
It is 6:06 now, and President Trump's calls for progressive congresswomen to go back where they came from aren't sitting well with a whole lot of people. Now, a lot of the president's supporters complain his comment is being taken out of context, so I want to read the whole thing for you, all 3 tweets. Here they are. He wrote, "So interesting to see progressive Democrat congresswomen who originally came from countries whose governments are a complete and total catastrophe, the worst, most corrupt and inept anywhere in the world, if they even have a functioning government at all, now loudly and viciously telling the people of the United States, the greatest and most powerful nation on earth, how our government is to be run. Why don't they go back and help fix the totally broken and crime-infested places from which they came, then come back and show us how it is done. These places need your help badly. You can't leave fast enough. I'm sure that Nancy Pelosi would be very happy to quickly work out free travel arrangements." Now, here's the thing. As Philip points out, 3 of the 4 members of the squad were born in the United States, so they would go back to Cincinnati, Detroit, and New York. The 4th came to the U.S. at age 10, and all were duly elected to the Congress, notes Jonathan. And they all had a little something to say about the president's tweets. AOC tweeted that the country she comes from and swears to is the United States. Congresswoman Tlaib calls the president's ideology the crisis. Congresswoman Omar dubbed him the worst, most corrupt and inept president we have ever seen, and retweeting screen caps of his tweets, Congresswoman Presley wrote, "This is what racism looks like." Now, more than 900 of you commented with reaction on our Facebook page. It really boiled down to these 2 sides, right? So there is the side that is with the president saying the congresswomen have no love or patriotism for America. And then there are those who are criticizing him, saying his comments are ignorant.
Yeah, well, he always ruffles feathers in all of his tweets, pretty much everyone. But I liked the way that AOC responded to him. She kept it classy because that fight could keep going if somebody doesn't stop it.
Yeah, and her comments were in a thread. Actually, several of the congresswomen had multiple tweets in response to President Trump's comments.
And so far, Republicans kind of staying pretty quiet about this one.
Very.
All right, Brandy, thank you. Let's get over to Chita with the one thing you need to know.
All right, guys, one thing you need to know on this Monday, rain chances are increasing. Today, you need to grab the umbrella. You'll probably use it not only late morning, midday, and into your afternoon. Temperatures build the day to the low 90s. Get ready for the heat by the weekend. I'll show you that coming up in about 5 minutes, Doug.
Okay, and one thing you need to know in traffic, earlier we had this deadly crash on the Katy freeway. All lanes were shut down heading eastbound, approaching downtown. Well, the freeway is back open again. Right now it's nice and green. 29 minutes to get from Grand Parkway into downtown for that Katy commute.
Thank you, Doug. It is coming up on 6:09, and it is time for In Other News Stories to get you rolling into the work week. If you started life a little early, you are more likely to spend it alone. Thanks, researchers at Warwick University. They studied preemies and found they're 28% less likely to find love and 22% less likely to become a mom or dad, and they're more likely to die a virgin. There you go. When your workday is done, do you find it hard to unplug from the office? A lot of us do. A report from Carphone Warehouse found 73% of us think it's okay to text clients after business hours. It suggests that texting has more casual implications in the professional world, and you could easily lose a client if you don't have that kind of relationship. So the key is keep it brief and free of extra unnecessary information. When it comes to kicking habits like smoking, drinking, gorging on snacks, take a walk instead. A study out of the UK says you can draw willpower from Earth's beauty. Researchers from the University of Plymouth claim spending time in green spaces helps us reduce those cravings. They say they need to study this more, but they add it's a good first step on the path to successfully managing cravings. The key is you're really far away from the vending machine, so you can't buy those Doritos.
But my problem is my favorite outdoor activity is making s'mores. Which you do outside to do it properly.
That's your favorite outdoor activity?
It sounds pretty good.
It meets the needs of my sugar craving. So it works out. It's a win-win.
It's good. All right.
There you go.
There you have it. 6:10 is the time. Get ready to shop till you drop. Amazon Prime Day is officially here. We connect the dots on the big retail holiday. Plus, a major company sides with the U.S. women's soccer team in their fight for equal pay.
Good morning, Houston. The Lion King, the movie, is hitting theaters this week, and you know what that means. It's time to go behind the scenes with the real lions here at the Houston Zoo. Oh, you don't want to miss it. Coming up on HTown Rush.